Tuesday night radical action right here on the SRN. Hello, good evening. We got some excitement getting ready to pop off here at Rockingham. I'm Sean Fitz alongside producer John Long. Want to welcome everybody to the SRN. We've got 75 laps of green flag action that's going to take place here at Rockingham with these radical SR8s with the Radical Racing League. And man, I tell you what, group qualifying so far has been wild. 10 minutes of group qualifying underway right now. Currently, Tyler Bloom is on the pole. Joe Stetson is second. Dana Lau, who was fastest during the warm-up and practice session, he's showing third. Timothy Dells is fourth. Mariusz Lazinski is fifth. Cliff Warren, William Alcala, Chad Lurdy, Kevin Lau, Eric Still rounding out the top 10, but we still have just over 4 minutes left in tonight's qualifying event here for the Radical Racing League on the SRN. Again, Rockingham this week after an exciting finish at Charlotte Motor Speedway where Andy Abry came home with the win after being able to clear through some of the wreckage on track coming out of turn 4. He was scored your winner last week. I don't show Andy in the field. Oh, there he is. Actually, he is in the field just rolling off a pit road. And that 25 SR8, the Radical Racing League, bringing you a different twist to oval racing. These drivers, this car's got a lot of grip. These drivers have a lot of talent. You're going to see a lot of 2 and 3 wide racing tonight, all throughout the 75 lap event. Again, group qualifying underway now, just under 4 minutes. Andy Abry out there putting on the lap, currently showing 15th out of 16 cars. He's looking for a little bit better of a showing so far tonight. He has no help with the draft, though. Wow, a lot of these other drivers are out on the backstretch putting in laps. Talking to producer John, who got a chance to ride on board one of these Radical 8s prior to tonight's broadcast. This car is pretty much flat out all the way around this Rockingham racetrack here. The bumps pretty much throughout the corners are not a factor. This car stays pretty planted. We're going to see a lot of back and forth between drivers using the runs down the straights and trying to get by one another, as you see Tyler Bloom gets a little high off of 3 and 4. Let some of those other drivers squeeze by. Again, Tyler putting on an impressive lap, his best lap, a 22.616 to Joe Stetson 6.43, as Joe's coming off pit road. Now with just under 3 minutes left in qualifying, he's looking for a pole position here. Another driver who has been really quick each and every week and kind of been up front, Dana Lau. He's going to come across the stripe. His current lap time is best, 22.764. That's good for third. He won the season invitational at the beginning of the SR8's season here on the Sim Racing News Network. Bringing home that trophy at Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is the Radical Racing League Season 2. Their first track, not Charlotte, right here on the SRN. Next week, they even continue to bigger tracks than this. We're going to go to Texas for a lot of big hat action at that super speedway. These cars are really going to shine there. A lot of speed, a lot of grip, a lot of side-by-side action, even during group qualifying, as you're seeing. And it's going to continue through the race. You're going to want to make sure you stay connected to the SRN. We are looking for some social media support. If you haven't already done so, make sure you're watching, make sure you're choosing your favorite streaming platform, liking the SRN, following, favoriting, and subscribing. Do everything you can to get connected with us, including following us on Facebook. We would appreciate the support. That's also going to get you connected with the community and let you know anytime the SRN goes live with any type of racing action from the iRacing online service. We want to take this opportunity as well to thank Kelsey Cakes and Quacks Designs for coming on board Season 2 for the Radical Racing League. helping make things run just a little bit smoother for the RRL. Those guys are appreciative of the sponsors stepping up and helping out for Season 2. Again, qualifying, coming to a close. Less than a minute left here. Tyler Bloom on the pole. He's got that lightning quick lap, and it doesn't look like any of the top 5 drivers are out there to try to defeat that. As everybody else here is working their way around Rockingham one more time as we're within 10 seconds here. It looks like that clock is going to expire without anybody getting a run on Tyler. He's going to pick up the pole there in just about 3 seconds. Waiting for that clock to tick down. And there you have it. Qualifying has completed. Let's take a look at our running order tonight, or our starting order. Again, brought to you by Kelsey's Cakes. Tyler Bloom's going to start on the pole tonight. Joe Stetson's going to start second. Joe is no stranger to making stuff happen all over the racetrack. We may see him be making some of those more aggressive moves tonight. He's going to start on outside pole. Dan Allel, already a win in his pocket this season, is going to start third. Timothy Dells is going to start fourth. William Alcala is going to round out the top 5. Mariusz Lazinski is going to start 6th. Andy Abery is going to start 7th. Cliff Warren 8th. Chad Lurdy and Jamie Jenkins going to start 10th. Kevin Lell, Eric Still, Chris Edwards, James Sullins, Clay Ramsey, and Lanty Mills is going to round out the rest of the field. A couple things to take note of here with the Radical Racing League. 2 fast repairs are available to these drivers this week. That's different from last week where only 1 fast repair was available. That was a decision made by the Radical Racing League admin staff. Wanted to give these drivers an opportunity to put together some strong finishes and keep a relatively full field of drivers. But it will be monitored closely, and you can catch all the updated information for the Radical Racing League and all the different changes they're looking at making. They're listening to feedback. You can head on over to Facebook, do a search for the Radical Racing League for all the latest up-to-date information. Drivers getting ready to grid up. We've already went through our running order, our starting order tonight. And it looks like Tyler Bloom on that inside line is going to get rolling here, and the field is underway here at Rockingham behind that Chevy Silverado pace truck. Should be the one to go during this pace lap. These drivers should get ready to take the green flag next time by. Pace truck's gonna duck down pit road. Tyler Bloom, your pole sitter, is gonna bring him to the green flag for week 2 of the season 2 of the Radical Racing League. Pretty much all bunched up here, side by side as they work down the backstretch for lap 1 rather. Joe Stetson on the outside, hanging tough. That middle line really showed a lot of speed during warm-ups tonight. Looks like we've got a driver spun around, and that's Chris Edwards. We're still green flag, though. Tyler Bloom out front, trying to hold off either line here in the front, bottom and top. That top line not really coming to fruition here, and those drivers are starting to fall back as Tyler Bloom's going to lead lap 2. William Alcala on the outside. I'm sorry, he's in the second place on the bottom there making moves. trying to make that stick. We've got another driver spun around here. That's Edwards, still stuck on the bottom of the racetrack, and that's going to bring the caution out for the first time on lap 3. Under caution for the first time tonight here at Rockingham on lap 4 for Chris Edwards. Having a little bit of trouble getting kicked off tonight. Showing a lap down as well. This will give him an opportunity to get caught back up with the field and maybe go into the go down pit road and take one of those 2 fast repairs available to these drivers tonight. As again, we're under caution here on lap 4. Tyler Bloom currently scored your leader. William Alcala starting in 5th has been making moves. He's up to 2nd now. That bottom line really rolling. Andy Abry, again, your winner last week during week 1 official action at Charlotte Motor Speedway. After a last lap pass through Carnage coming around, he's going to take the win. He's already got a little bit of damage, though, on the rear of that car. Another driver that I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about tonight, Mariusz Lazinski, he's up to 4th. Not a solid qualifying effort or warm-up effort for Mariusz, but certainly already up into the top 5. Dana Lels rounding out with 5th place spots so far in that 14 machine. Dana winning the Driver Invitational at the beginning of this season. He'll be a driver to keep an eye on as the night progresses here at Rockingham. Again, under caution here tonight for the first time on lap 6 of 75 at Rockingham. You've seen these drivers here with the Radical Racing League put on a heck of a show. You see a lot of side-by-side action, lap after lap after lap, and certainly the car can be thanked for that as well, because this car sticks to a lot of places and helps these drivers kind of navigate around these racetracks with a little bit more ease, a lot of grip, and a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to commentate, and from what I understand, a heck of a lot of fun to drive. If you want to get connected with the Radical Racing League, you can head on over to Facebook, do a search for the Radical Racing League, and get connected that way. You can also find Chad Lurdy on iRacing, and he'll be more than happy to get you set up. Again, caution out once again here for Chris Edwards' spin down the backstretch on the end of lap 3. Waiting for the 1 to go signal. I do believe we're going to have a single file restart tonight here at Rockingham in effect. Now with this, with 75 laps here at Rockingham, this race is going to go fairly quick if we stay green flag. Fuel's not going to be a concern for these drivers, and they're going to be mostly flat out. They're completing lap times in the 22.5 to 23 second time frame. Very quick laps here at Rockingham. And the opportunities are not going to be very many. A lot of these drivers are going to want to see as many green flag laps as they can work their way through the field. Tyler Bloom, your leader. After taking on that pole for group qualifying, Pace Truck's gonna duck down pit road. And he's gonna bring the green flag back out here on lap 9. William Alcala, Andy Avery's gonna get side by side. Fairly quick with Mariusz Lazinski. Our leader not able to break away. Alcala looking underneath him. Alcala and Avery are there on the bottom, rolling around this racetrack at breakneck speed. They're using the apron to help these cars rotate just a little bit. As you see, Mariusz Lazinski on the high side coming down a little bit. He's trying to hang on to it on the outside. You see Tyler Bloom moving up to try to check that line. Mariusz so far showing that he's got the pace to hang on the outside. Bloom is a little unsteady on the bottom. You can see playing on that apron is messing that car balance a little bit up. As we continue to be side by side through pretty much the top 12. Coming down the backstretch. And that's Dana Lell on the outside of Andy Avery. Well, that's not going to be the story. This is going to be it right here. Tyler Bloom, can he hang on to that bottom line, or is Mariusz Lazinski going to hang on to the top? Find a spot, get clear of him. That outside line. Big gap between Lazinski and Dana Lell. Dana Lell's going to look on the outside. Lazinski had a trouble getting off the corner. Lell was not able to make the pass though. He's going to start falling back. I believe that's with Timothy Dales. That is on the bumper of Dana Lell. Again, Bloom holding on to the bottom here, and that looks to be where the pace is at so far. There may have been a little contact there between Alcala and Lazinski. That was really tight if there wasn't. Again, side by side, the top 7 here as Bloom is starting to break away a little bit. That outside line starting to lose a little bit of its luster. Tyler now able to slide up a little bit, run his line, kind of control who gets the run and who doesn't here. You see Lazinski really driving down into the entrance of turn 3. Alcala, he's losing a little bit of patience here. It's still early in this race, but Alcala showing he's on pace, right on the bumper of Bloom coming out of 4 last time. Let's see if he's able to make anything of it this time. Bloom is just trying to hang on. Riding on board with Alcala now. Again, on the bottom line. Alcala looks to have backed off a little bit after seeing Tyler get a little squirrely there. In the meantime, Mariusz Lazinski, big run on the outside down the backstretch, even with our leader through 3 and 4. This is one of the better runs Mariusz has had. Is he going to be able to get clear of our leader? Not this time by, as they come across the stripe for lap 18. The fight for the lead is heating up as Alcala really had the nose up underneath Bloom that last time by. Alcala's been very patient with the leader, but you can tell he's had a little bit more pace, a little bit more steadiness in that car. As Mariusz gets caught up, and it looks like Bloom trying to stall his run out. Alcala involved in an incident here. That's going to collect Avery. That's also going to collect Tyler Bloom. And caution is out. We've seen that coming a mile wide there as Alcala had the run on the inside with Mariusz on the outside. And Alcala looks like he may have just got into the left rear of Tyler Bloom, bringing out the caution. Under caution for the second time tonight on lap 20 of 75 here at Rockingham. You're watching the Sim Racing News Network. We're going to step away and come back with green flag coverage of the Radical Racing League right after this. Under caution again tonight here at Rockingham for the Radical Racing League's SR8 coverage of Season 2, Week 2, right here on the SRN. If you're getting tuned in just now, you missed some exciting early action here at Rockingham. 5 cars involved in that incident that started with William Alcala and Tyler Bloom just a few laps ago right here on the backstretch. That collected Andy Abry as well as Chad Lurdy and Eric Still getting involved in that incident. That's going to cycle those drivers back out of the top 10. Mariusz Lazinski, again, not a strong qualifying effort by that driver, but he has shown that qualifying is not everything because he's up front now. Hanging on to the outside line was key for his success. And he is certainly there now. Timothy Dales is going to start second on this restart. Joe Stetson third. Dana Lell fourth. Kevin Lell fifth. Cliff Warren, Clay Ramsey. James Sullivan, Jamie Jenkins. And Chad Lurdy starting or rounding out the top 10. Pace truck lights are off. That's the one to go signal to these Radical Racing League drivers that they're going to go green flag next time by. Lazinski is going to bring him across the stripe with 50 to go. Again, these laps while under green are very quick. And you need all the opportunity you can to make passes on the track. We're going to find out who's got what it takes to try to get up front here. As we go back, green flag racing right here at Rockingham. Pace truck is off. And your leader brings them back to the green flag on lap 25. Pretty much side by side by the entrance of turn 1. You see Timothy Dells trying to make that outside work, and Danilel. They're back up there on the outside. They were following Lazinski earlier. And Dells with a strong run on the outside with Danilel on his bumper, pushing him down the front stretch. These cars are under a lot of downforce, a lot of grip all over the racetrack. One little slip up will send you on back. That outside line starting to fall apart. Stetson now up to second. Kevin Lell making moves on the bottom. As the rest of the field starts to get tangled up with the top 5. And Timothy Dells, he went airborne out of turn 3. Let's go take a look and find out exactly what happened as caution is back out once again. And it looks like Kevin Lell just got checked up, and Timothy just did not have a chance to get that car stopped, as he's going to hit a couple cars in the process. And that's going to bring the caution back out here on lap 28 of 75, as you see him bring that machine down pit road to take one of the 2 fast repairs tonight that these drivers have eligible. Some of these drivers have already had to come down and collect that fast repair, while others are holding on to it. Again, want to take this opportunity tonight to thank everybody for tuning in. We also want to thank the Radical Racing League sponsors of Kelsey's Cakes and Quack's Designs for all their help with supporting Season 2 for the Radical Racing League. And if you yourself want to get involved with this unique car and track combination, you can head on over to Facebook, do a search for the Radical Racing League. You can also do a search on iRacing in the league directory for the Radical Racing League. And at last, you can hit up Chad Lurdy on iRacing. He'll get you hooked up and pointed in the right direction. And we are officially under caution once again here at Rockingham on lap 29 of 75. We're going to take this opportunity to step away so that we can bring you the green flag action right here on the SRN. These drivers getting ready to go back green flag racing here for the Radical Racing League on lap 33. Nearing the halfway point of tonight's event. We appreciate you turning in on the Sim Racing News Network across any of your favorite streaming platforms, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We've got a lot of coverage of some exciting racing coming up later on this week, and we'll be talking about that here in just a little while. In the meantime, Ariusz Lazinski, one of the fast drivers for Radical Racing League, he is comfortably in the lead right now. After getting by Tyler Bloom, William Alcala that got collected on the backstretch of the last caution. We'll see what Joe Stetson, Kevin Lell, Dan Lell, and Cliff Warren are going to be able to do with him, as the pace truck is going to duck down pit road, and the green flag is back out here at Rockingham. Lazinski out to a decent jump here. The rest of the field having a little bit of trouble getting rolling. Lell has got Dana behind him. Kevin in a little bit of trouble as Dana's going to look on the inside and have the preferred line through 3 and 4. In the meantime, Joe Stetson showing that he's not afraid to look at that outside line a little bit. Tucking in and out from behind Lazinski to try to catch a little bit of a draft. He's on the outside of our leaders. They go through turn 1. And Dana Lell, after making that move by Kevin, he's now up to second as the bottom line is showing its dominance here on lap 15. I'm sorry, not lap 15, lap 35. Dana Lell up to second after restarting 4th. And he's going to look on the outside now of our leader as they roll into 3. Side by side through the top 5 except for our leader. And as I say that, they get thinned out a little bit here. Kevin back up to second. Dana fighting him off though. These cars all over the place here. A lot of grip in these machines, but also they're so grippy that they're almost out of control in a lot of ways. And you're seeing that here tonight as they're not able to hold a very smooth line through the corner. That bottom line showing its dominant here is William Alcala, who led, or who was up front early, trying to get by Tyler Bloom. He's all the way back up to 4th. Andy Abry also involved in that incident earlier, and he's up to 5th. William Alcala on the outside of Kevin Lell, trying to make something happen by himself out there. Not a whole lot of momentum to be had. And they come across the strive for lap 39 here of 75. We're officially past the halfway point of tonight's event. Here for the Radical Racing League at Rockingham. Again, bottom line, just rolling around this famed historic racetrack of Rockingham. And this is not a car combination that you would expect to see here normally. But that's what's making it a lot of fun to watch. As we ride on board right now, Dana Lell, who's been up as high as second so far tonight. Already got a win under his belt here early. He's just looking for another points, or looking for a points paying win. As we are officially into week 2 of season 2. He's up there fighting Cliff Warren, Lanty Mills. As he moves up on the high side a little bit behind Andy Abry. This fight's starting to get a little heated up here as William Alcala now is up to 3rd. Abry on the bumper of Alcala on the outside. Kevin Lell on the bottom. And they were 3 wide exiting a 2 there. That was Cliff Warren. And a couple others, I believe that was Cliff Warren, Dana Lell underneath him. They got that sorted out. In the meantime, Alcala is starting to look on the outside of Kevin Lell. rolling the mid part of that corner. He's going to get a little bit of a push down the backstretch. I believe that was Daniel Lell on the outside. Or was that Cliff Warren? That may have been Cliff Warren. Not Cliff Warren, rather. William, let's take a look here. We're trying to get this sorted out. Some of these paint schemes look a lot alike. These positions are changing so often, it is hard to keep up. And that's Timothy Dells up there on the bumper. That's why we couldn't find out. That's Dells. He's a lap down. On the bumper of Alcala, Kevin Lell trying to make something happen on the bottom of second place. In the meantime, your leader, Mariusz Lazinski. Oh, and Alcala gets out of shape. It looks like that collected Dells and a couple others back there. Eric's still involved once again. We're still green on the racetrack, and there it is. Caution's going to be out on lap 46. Again, Alcala involved in this one here. Let's take a look and find out exactly what happened. Oh, Alcala may have had some contact there with Daniel Lell. That's going to collect still. I believe Tyler Bloom was also. Nope, Tyler Bloom was able to stay clear of that one. Eric's still involved, though. And then Clay Ramsey showing involved in this incident as well. And again, we're under caution here on lap 47 of 75 at Rockingham. We talked about all the coverage coming up here in the next couple weeks on the Sim Racing News Network. If you have not already got connected to all of our social media platforms, you're certainly going to want to do so. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all of our streaming platforms going to bring you live coverage of tomorrow night's Ohio Sim Racing Xfinity action right here on the SRN at Road America. That was a lot of fun last night to see OSR drivers work their way around Mid-Ohio in the trucks. Well, tomorrow night, the Xfinity drivers, the Premier League of OSR, takes on Road America. That coverage is going to start at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, right here on the SRN. And then something a little exciting this weekend. Starting on Friday, the Mason-Dixon Racing Series is going to begin a 3-day, $250 to win street stock race. That's the process, or the heat races for that's going to begin on Friday, continue through Saturday, early Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, and then it's going to end on Sunday night at Michigan, where the street stocks will go for one final time. The driver who's leading that at the end of that race is going to walk away with $250. You want to find out more information about that series, you can head on over to Facebook, Sim Racing News. You can also do a search for Mason-Dixon Racing Series if you want to get involved with that group. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch here throughout the weekend. Stay tuned for more details about that, but we're super excited to be partnered up with that group. We're going to bring you all the action right here on the Sim Racing News Network. We did make an announcement earlier today as well, talking about availability. The SRN has been incredibly fortunate to have a lot of interest in our broadcasting services each and every week, and unfortunately we're not able to serve everybody. We're simply just one person or two people, three people here managing this group, and we appreciate all the support. With that being said, currently the Sim Racing News Network has reached its season commitment capacity. We are right now running pretty hard throughout the week, and we do not have room for any more season-long commitments for any of the cars, or any cars or tracks. However, we are still available for one-off events. You can head on over to Facebook, do a search for Sim Racing News. For all the latest information about availability, you can also message us there. We'll be more than happy to kind of get you directed into the right place and get you taken care of. And a lot of exciting action coming up, including some Triple Crown events for a couple leagues that have not been announced yet. That's going to be coming up here in just a few short weeks and lasting through October, as the sim racing news continues to expand its coverage across the entire calendar all the way through November. We're under caution here once again on lap 50 of 75 for the Radical Racing Leagues. Season 2, Week 2 official race right here at Rockingham. I'm your host, Sean Fitz, alongside producer John Long. So far tonight, we've seen a lot of action all over the racetrack. Mary Slazinski is currently scored your leader. Kevin Lell is second. Cliff Warren quietly hanging on to a top 5. He slipped back a little bit, and then he comes back. And slips back a little bit more, and he comes back. Another driver who has snuck up here quite a bit in the late running, Chad Lurdy, has moved his way up to 4th. And then 5th place currently is Andy Abry. Andy, again, last week's race winner after being able to work his way through the last lap chaos at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He's gonna currently running 5th. They're gonna restart there. James Sullins, Tyler Bloom rather, Lanty Mills, and William Alcala. Clay Ramsey's gonna round out your top 10. So pace truck caution lights are off. We're going to go back green flag racing here on lap 52. Pace truck's going to duck down pit road. Lazinski's going to bring it back to the lead here. Bring it back to the green flag, rather, as he's in the lead. The green flag is back out. Kevin Lell just gets to restart there. They were 3 wide by the line. That's going to let Chad Lurdy get by. Andy Abry is there and hunting for that spot as well. Not going to get clear of Kevin, but Chad Lurdy up to 2nd place. Chad using the middle part of the racetrack, I would say, allowed him to be a little bit smoother there from a driver perspective. Using the middle part of the track, however, Kevin Lell is on the move on the bottom. Andy Abry is back there while your leader, Mary Slazinski, doing a fine job hanging on up front. These lap times are blistering quick. So we see Chad Lurdy off the pace a little bit. When we talk about some of these lap times, a sub 23.5 second lap times each and every lap. 75 laps is not a long time here to work your way back through the field or back after some trouble. So you want to see this race go as green as you possibly can as the top 4 start to break away again a little bit here. That's Lazinski, Lell, Warren, and Abry. But it looks like Tyler Bloom, the driver who won the pole and led several laps early, he's on the march back up to the top 5. William Alcala's on the move as well. You see Chad Lurdy on the bumper there on Bloom. Dana Lell's back up there as well. All these drivers who were involved in a little bit of the chaos earlier in the race are now back up and near the top 5. Abry, the leader, up on the outside, trying to make something happen with Dana Lell. Not able to put a run together. It looks like Kevin Lell, though, was nearly underneath our leader coming out of 4, not able to make it stick, but he's just about had him going into 3. It's the most single file action you're going to see. Oh, there it is, right there. William Alcala able to make that bottom line stick. Kevin Lell gets washed up the track. Cliff Warren on the move. And just like that, Alcala able to dominate by putting the nose of that SR8 on the bottom. The top 3 single filed out now as they come across the backstretch into 3 on lap 58. Top 5. Starting to separate a little bit here, but it won't last for long. Dana Lell's looking on the outside of Kevin Lell a little bit. He wants to try to find a little bit of running room up there, but he's not going to find it. And that's going to allow Lurdy and Sullins to catch up with him as they come down the backstretch. Alcala. And Lazinski here is fighting it out. Nose to tail coming across the stripe on lap 60. While it is mostly single file, they're still fighting pretty hard. Ocala's gonna get underneath him. This is gonna be a chase for the lead. It looks like Cliff Warren is gonna try and shut the door on Lazinski as well. Here comes Kevin Lill on the bottom. Chad Lurdy back in the picture. They're 3 wide, now 2 wide for second is Alcala. Dominating that bottom line. You see him drive up to the front there, working that track. Working all the way around here. And Lazinski trying to hold Alcala down on the exit of 4. Not able to get clear of him, though. That's going to check up the rest of these drivers. We're nearly going to have a 3 wide battle for the lead. Lurdy thinks better of it. Tucks back in behind Lazinski. That bottom line was opened up. Chad Lurdy takes the hole. Lazinski by himself now on the outside by 5 car lengths. Andy Abry is there as well, trying to make something happen to get back to the bumper. Mariusz. In the meantime, William Alcala leading on the bottom. Mariusz, oh, there it is. Lazinski tucked back down. Chad Lurdy did not quite shut the door, but he's going to this time, right on the bumper of Alcala. Kevin Lill back into the top 5. Again, these drivers, these cars, they will go anywhere you allow them to go, but you got to be smart as a driver. And these top 10 here, fighting it out tooth and nail each and every lap. Chad Lurdy gets washed up the track. That's going to leave a hole for Lazinski. Lazinski's not able to get there. Those drivers side by side for the lead. Lurdy back to the bumper of Alcala. Albrecht nearly to the bumper of Lazinski. Right on that rear quarter panel, and Lazinski's gonna go for a ride in the outside wall. No caution yet. That's gonna check the majority of the field up, and there it is. Caution is out. 9 laps to go, and it was just starting to get interesting here at Rockingham. Let's go back and take a look to find out exactly what happened there. Abry was making moves, trying to get sucked up to the bumper. Lazinski. I believe that was, who was that right there? That was Cliff Warren on the inside, and I don't think Lazinski expected him to be there. Let's see how that kind of came together as they work their way into turn 3 here. You can see Mariusz on the outside. Yeah, I just don't think he expected Cliff Warren to be there. Cliff popped up, and I don't even know if his spotter had enough time to say anything there to let Lazinski know that he was going to be in the middle of that mix, in the middle of turn 3 and 4. Again, action all over the racetrack for the Radical Racing League tonight here on the SRN. Bringing you Season 2 coverage of this group. William Alcala currently scored your leader. Chad Lurdy is second. Kevin Lill is third. We're going to take this opportunity to step away one more time before we go back. Green flag coverage for the last final laps here at Rockingham. You're watching the Sim Racing News Network. Pace truck lights are off as we're going to go green flag racing with about 4 laps to go here. I'm sorry, 5. We'll go green flag with 5 to go here at Rockingham for Season 2, Week 2 of the Radical Racing League's coverage right here on the SRN. William Alcala, your leader. Chad Lurdy starting second. Single file restarts in effect. 3 opportunities to finish this race under green. However, the majority of this field has had to use those resets or those fast repairs. Tonight, Radical Racing League drivers here at Rockingham have been offered 2 of them. We've seen a lot of incidents so far tonight around Rockingham, so a couple of these drivers are probably already out of those. They'll be driving a little differently than the rest of these drivers. I'll tell you one driver, though, who's going to be pretty much foot to the floor and hang on is William Alcala as he starts to work on the outside there. He's going to try and protect his restart. Pace truck's down pit road, and green flag is back out. 5 laps to go. Alcala out to a decent start. Chad Lurdy's going to start looking on the outside, but they've got to be careful. Kevin Lell, Andy Abry, Timothy Dells, he's back on the lead lap. Remember him? Joe Stetson is also up here. Top 7. Fighting it out here side by side. 4 laps to go. Alcala still holding that sweet spot right there on the bottom. 3 wide back behind him, though. We've got a driver on the apron. I believe they were able to make... Nope, they weren't able to make that stick, and caution is out. Once again here at Rockingham. And Tyler Bloom looks like going to be the driver affected by this here. Let's go back and take a look. Oh, Tyler lost it by himself there, but I believe Cliff Warren may have finished it for him. And that's going to bring out the caution. This is going to lead us into overtime tonight here on the Radical Racing League's Week 2 Season 2 coverage at Rockingham. Due to the iRacing scoring system and the cautions in general not cooperating, it makes it pretty difficult to carry conversation here for 15 minutes while we get these 6 caution laps in that are absolutely unnecessary. But in the meantime, Alcala is going to be your leader. Chad Lurdy is second. Kevin Lell going to start third. Andy Abry is fourth. Joe Stetson is going to restart 5th tonight. Again, we're going to go into a green-white checkered overtime finish here tonight for week 2 at Rockingham. These drivers are going to have 1 green flag lap, and then the white flag will come out. And the next flag will end the race. There will be a caution thrown on the final lap, so they'll be racing to the checkers. And it's anybody's race. Timothy Dells is back up to 6th after being a lap down. Dana Lell is up to 7th. Lanty Mills 8th. Mariusz Lazinski, who led a good majority of the laps tonight, getting caught up in an incident there. He is currently 9th. Clay Ramsey is 10th. Eric Still, James Sullins, Cliff Warren, Jamie Jenkins, and Tyler Bloom rounding out the remainder of the field here. Caution lights are off on the pace truck, half a lap, and we're going to enter overtime for tonight's coverage of the Radical Racing League right here on the SRN. Cali, your leader, Chad Lurdy, Kevin Lell in the top three. Who's going to have what it takes to wrap this thing up? We're going to find out here in just a few short laps. Alcala on the outside. Going to try to protect that passing zone. Chad Lurdy's going to follow him. We've had 2 races so far this season, and both of them are going to end in overtime because we're there now. 2 laps to go. Big 3-wide wiggle. And that looked like Dana Lell went for a ride sideways across the track. They've not, and there it is. The caution's out once again. Dana Lell losing it, I believe, all by himself there. Again, bunched up. Andy Abry in the middle. Lell just by himself on the apron of the racetrack. And he's going to collect a car upside down on the fence as well. I'm not quite sure exactly who that was. That may have been Lanty Mills. Several drivers actually involved in this wreck afterwards out of the backstretch. That's Clay Ramsey, Eric Still. And it looks like Lanty Mills upside down as well. All a byproduct of that racing there. And we're under caution yet again. These drivers have 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. And we're going to be in the overtime here. Go step away for 30 seconds. You're watching the Sim Racing News Network. And Dana Lell, unfortunately involved and tangled up in some of the wreckage here tonight at Rockingham. You see him come down pit road to try to repair some of that damage in the meantime. William Alcala is currently scored your leader. Chad Lurdy is second. Kevin Lell, Joe Stetson, Timothy Dales rounding out the top 5. Andy Abry is currently 6th. Mariusz Lazinski, he's been on the roll here over the last couple restarts. He's up to 7th. And that'll be a driver who's knocking on the door of the top 3 before this is over, I'm sure. This is attempt 2 of 3 to get this race in under green flag conditions. Again, I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for Season 2 tonight for the Radical Racing League, Kelsey's Cakes, Quack Designs. Appreciate them stepping up and supporting the Radical Racing League through this season. Looks like the caution lights are going to go out this time by. We're going to try to go back. Green flag racing here again into overtime. The second attempt of 3 here tonight to get this race finished under green flag conditions. Now, Cali, your leaders had some solid restarts tonight. Chad Lurdy is going to follow in his footsteps here, right into those wheel marks. As Cali moves to the top to try to protect that passing zone. Pace truck's going to duck down pit road. Alcala's going to bring him back to the stripe for the second of 3 green-white checkered attempts. Green flag is out, and you see moves being made there. That's Kevin Lell on the outside. Joe Stetson involved here as well. William Alcala, Chad Lurdy. And these drivers trying to hang on to it. White flag is out here at Rockingham. Timothy Dale's on the outside. Chad Lurdy gonna make it 3 wide into 3. As Abry goes around, Alcala goes around. Timothy Dales is gonna be your winner. And what a wild ride for a couple of these drivers on that last lap, including Jamie Jenkins. Went from 9th to 3rd in one corner. Gonna bring home that top 3. Chad Lurdy is gonna bring home 2nd place tonight. For week 2 of season 2 coverage of the Radical Racing League right here on the SRN. Again, congratulations to Timothy Dales on that win. We're gonna step away for just a moment, get ready for some post-race coverage right after this. You're watching the Sim Racing News Network. Timothy Dales burning it down on the front stretch tonight. Again, your winner here for week 2 coverage at Rockingham for the Radical Racing League. Let's go back and take a look at that finishing result tonight. Chad Lurdy bringing home 2nd place. He was 3 wide in the middle as they came through turn 3. Jamie Jenkins, top 3. Kevin Lell 4th. Mariusz Lazinski had finished 5th after working his way back through the field there late. Andy Abry 6th, William Alcala 7th after leading, coming to the stripe of the final flag. He's going to bring home that 7th place. James Sullins is 8th. Eric Still and Joe Stetson is going to round out the top 10. Daniel Lell, Tyler Bloom, Clay Ramsey, Cliff Warren, Lanty Mills, and Chris Edwards are going to round out the rest of the field here tonight. Waiting on some post-race interviews here to see if any drivers are going to be available. We do need to try to get that expedited just a little bit here. We're waiting to find out exactly what's happening. An exciting race tonight here at Rockingham with all drivers involved as they are working on celebrating here in Victory Lane at Rockingham. You know, whenever I first talked to the league admins for the Radical Racing League, we talked about how amazing some of the racing could be and how different it would be with the ovals, and they have certainly put on shows week after week after week. The Driver Invitational at Charlotte, the Season 1 opener at Charlotte last week, which saw a pass for the lead at the very end. The same thing tonight. Tyler Dales scored your winner. We're going to take another quick 30-second break to find out if we're going to be able to get any driver interviews tonight. And then we will have to end our coverage right here on the SRN. We appreciate everybody tuning in. If you haven't already done so, make sure you get connected. We're going to have a lot of racing action right here on the SRN coming up in the next couple weeks. You're not going to want to miss any of it. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow all the SRN Facebook, or all the social medias for the SRN. In the meantime, it looks like we're gonna actually have an opportunity to talk to our race winner tonight, Timothy Dales. Congratulations on that win. I know it's probably not exactly how you would like to have seen it, but coming across the stripe first on the last lap is all that matters. Talk to us about how managing the car through the traffic tonight was a factor.
Oh, hey, man, the last two races I was out front, towards the end and got caught up in the wreck. So this time, luck kind of shined my way. So I'll take it any way I can get it. But as far as managing the car, I think I was actually one of the few guys that was fast on the high side. So most everybody else was fighting to try to get down on the bottom. And I actually felt pretty smooth and quick up there. So as we were coming to the first green, white checkered, I was pretty much committed to it. And I picked up a spot, and then we lined up for the second one, and everybody fought to try to get down on the bottom, and it was open up there. So I got up alongside the leader and then kind of closed the door a little bit, closed it off to get real close to him to pull a side draft off of him so that I could get the run off the corner if need be. But they ended up getting tangled up, and then it was smooth sailing the last quarter mile.
Tim, you mentioned that you were fast tonight on that outside, and you are correct. That was a rarity. We've seen on the bottom line being dominating the majority of the passing done tonight. What made it different for you on the outside line, or was it just it led into your hand, or was it something you kind of figured out with the car later through the race?
We were doing some tuning and practice yesterday, and I noticed when it was like me and one other guy, I could actually side draft and stay maybe within a half a car around the outside of the corner, and then have runs down the front stretch, through the dogleg or down the back stretch. And I got caught up in an incident earlier in the race and had to drop to the back and was actually a lap down. And I noticed that coming through the field, like I could fly around the outside 2 wide, 3 wide. Like my car was pretty stable the whole upper half of the track, even up to the wall. And I guess it just kind of suited my driving style. So when everybody tried to get down on the bottom, I just took the free space up top and got a run off of there to get to the line first.
Tim Dales, practice making quick work to a win here tonight. Congratulations on that week 2 win here at Rockingham.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And then we're also going to talk to Chad Lurdy. Chad, congratulations on that second place finish. 3 wide there at the end. I'm sure it's not how you exactly wanted to see it come to a close. However, certainly a top 3 is welcome at any point.
The top 3 is good, but I didn't want to get second like that, man. I want to shout out Will Alcala, man. I didn't get to see the replay yet, but from what I've heard, I pinched him down. I'm going to look at the replay and see it after to get out of the interview. But if I did, man, I apologize to Will. We ran a pretty good race, mid-pack most of the race. They're in the final, I think it was 15 laps, made our way up to the front, and we stayed top 3 or 4 the rest of the way, and luckily came out with a second place finish. But dude, I hate to end it that way.
Chad, we'll take the driver's helmet off here for a moment and put on our league admin cap, and let's talk a little bit about the Radical Racing League. Obviously something a little bit of a twist, a little something different than traditional oval racing. If anybody was interested in getting hooked up with this group, what's the best way to do that?
Best way to get a hold of us, you can go to our league directory, talk to us on our page there, or more than anything, we're on our Facebook. We run a Radical Light series, which we encourage anybody that wants to get in to join this upcoming week, August 11th. We're going to be running the race at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's kind of like where everybody. It's a developmental league, If you run good there, you can run up with the pros. It's $20 to enter. Pays for our broadcast that we do on here and our race control. But yeah, if you're interested, hit up me, Kevin Lale, or Dana Lale, and we'll get you signed up with Radical Racing League.
Chad Lerdy bringing home a second place finish and all the information you need to join the Radical Racing League. Congratulations on that top 2.
Thank you, Sean.
We're going to wrap up coverage tonight right here on the Sim Racing News Network. A lot of action coming up in the next couple weeks, including tomorrow night's left and right-hander in the Xfinity cars as Ohio Sim Racing takes on Mid-Ohio. The trucks had their opportunity last night. Tomorrow night, the Xfinity drivers are going to get their hand at it. We're going to cut them loose for a couple laps. And then later on in the week, street stocks. And what's going to be a fantastic pay-to-play series where the winner of it all is going to take home $250. You can head on over to our Facebook page, Sim Racing News Network, for more information about that. We're going to go ahead and duck on out of here. Happy Tuesday evening. We'll see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, right here on the SRN for Ohio Sim Racing Xfinity action. And I'm Sean Fitz alongside producer John Long. We'll see you tomorrow night.